Netflix is looking to charge you a little more if you're sharing your password. Oscar voting is now open. Jane Campion has gotten into a little bit of hot water, and thanks to The Bachelor, we now know who the better Clayton is.
That's right, we definitely do, and it's all coming up right now on The Tape. Hey everyone, and welcome to The Take. I'm Elizabeth Wagmeister.
And I'm Clayton Davis, and we're here to give you our take on some of the week's biggest stories. And we've had some big stories this week.
Yes, it's been a big week for news in Hollywood, but this first story, it is going to impact both of us. It's going to impact everyone. I don't know how I feel about it. Please break it down.
Yep, breaking it all down. I know, like many of you, I share my password with a lot of people outside my household for Netflix, but it looks like that might be coming to an end unless you're willing to pay a little more. The streamer announcing that they will be testing an additional price hike for anyone who chooses to share their password outside of their household. It will be about $2.99 in US dollars. They're testing this in 3 countries, Peru, Costa Rica, and Chile. No word on how long this test will last or when it will roll out. They've already increased the prices on their top tier plan to $19.99 per month. Now, my take is, much like I think a lot of people here, there are a lot of streaming services right now, and it adds up. If only there was like a cable service or something that would have all of them in one area, it would actually work out fine.
You mean before streaming?
Before streaming happened, yeah. No, but like my family, we all pick one and then share it with everybody. And I guess they're really trying to crack down on that. But what's interesting is, does this really talk into a privacy conversation? How do they know if you're not outside your household? What if you're traveling in a hotel room and it pops up there? Like, you know, this raises some interesting, maybe not cool questions.
I mean, let's just be honest here. We are all thieves. Everybody shares passwords. We know that. When it comes to Netflix, when it comes to streaming, that's what everybody does. I don't think people are going to be happy about this. And yes, it's a test, but we know this test is going to become the norm. Anytime that a company like Netflix stands to make more money, they're going to do it. I think that they're starting the test just because they want to ease into it, because they know people probably won't be happy.
Yep.
But let's look at some of these numbers, because in Q4 last year, Netflix had 221 million subscribers globally. So now if you can't share your password outside of the household, just think how that will grow. I mean, their revenue last year was $7.7 billion, but they are down. Remember, they had this huge spike during the pandemic. Those gains have been lost now. So they obviously, this is easy way for them to get more money.
Yeah, it's all about the stock market, but we'll watch and see what happens and see when this rolls out.
Yes, well, let's move on to another very important topic, The Bachelor, right? I mean, let's go. I know it's your favorite topic, but this week was the finale of The Bachelor, and I know that they say it every single year, but this really was the most dramatic season finale of all time. How was my impression there? Was it good?
It was good. It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Okay, so for those of you who don't watch, first and foremost, The Bachelor's name is Clayton. Sorry about that, because people aren't very happy about him, so you might be getting some hate tweets this week, actually. It would take way too long to break down, but basically Clayton told 3 women that he loved them. He admitted to sleeping with 2 of them. Then after a gazillion breakups, he did a double breakup. He didn't even have the decency to go to each woman on their own. Yes, I know, you're sipping your tea. That's some tea. He ended up being with a woman who actually left the show. So what's your take on all of this, Clayton number 1?
Well, Clayton chooses violence every time. And listen, The Bachelor is really gaining momentum in terms of still building its audience after all these years. And I would be interested to see now which woman they choose to be the Bachelorette off this season, which I believe we know.
We do know. Yeah, so they're actually making history because they chose not 1, but 2 women to lead The Bachelorette. So for the first time in history, and The Bachelor is about to approach 20 years on the air, they're going to have 2 Bachelorettes leading a season. I have a lot of questions. I hear from sources they're still figuring it out, but you are right. They did see a big gain in their ratings. The Bachelor has been down like a lot of other shows, but the finale had around 4.5 million viewers. It was up about 1 million viewers from the week before. But my take, you're Clayton number 1. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's move on to a big controversy from the last week. Jane Campion, she has gotten herself into some hot water. So she made some comments at the Critics' Choice Awards when she was making her acceptance speech for Best Director at Venus and Serena Williams. They, of course, were there because of King Richard. While Jane Campion, she was trying to give them a compliment, but she really ruffled a lot of feathers when she said, Venus and Serena, you two are marvels, but you don't have to play against the men like I do. Eek. The second that she said this, I was just like, oh no, stop talking, take it back. So Jane Campion, I think what she was trying to do here, she was trying to really kind of cheer on women and say, I am the first woman to be nominated twice for Best Director at the Oscars. I'm always playing with the men. She was trying to do something good, but this was just so short-sighted because the fact of the matter is that we know that statistically women are paid less than men. But statistically, we also know that Black women are paid less than white women. So by her saying this, it was just so short-sighted. She did apologize, but I'm really curious, what is your take? Particularly, will this hurt her chances at the Oscars?
I don't think it will, because I don't know if the greater Oscar voting membership really dives that much into it or reads that much into it. I was in the room. I was sitting at Venus and Serena's table.
Oh my gosh.
When it happened, I turned around to look at them, and they were smiling. They were engaged with it. I do believe Jane Campion is a quirky woman. I love her. I'd hang out with her any day of the week. And I think it just didn't land. Also, it was untrue because there are mixed doubles and they do play against men in tennis. So I got the point, but I can definitely see why it was misconstrued and why people had a problem with it. But her apologizing was a good step because I can't guarantee that if that was a white guy up there, that he wouldn't have, apologize afterwards.
Yeah, she did apologize very quickly, but one more important fact in this whole story is just, it shows how quickly things can change. In the matter of 24 hours, Jane Campion was being blasted online for these comments, but literally the day before, she actually spoke to our very own Mark Malkin, who asked her on the red carpet at DGA what she thought about Sam Elliott, who of course famously now dissed her film Power the Dog, and she called him a bitch. She got praise all over the internet, but again, things can change very quickly.
Yes, she's so great. And now that leads right into the final topic. Oscar voting is now open for business. For 6 days, Academy members will be voting on this year's nominees for the 94th ceremony that will be hosted by Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes. The Critics' Choice Awards, the BAFTA, and DJ Awards all took place last week, where Power of the Dog led in the wins. Jane Campion won Best Director at all those ceremonies. It brings the question, is it the year for Netflix, or is something like Apple Original Films' Coda going to come up and take that award? Now, at BAFTA, Coda shockingly won Best Adapted Screenplay. 6 out of the 7 last BAFTA winners for that category have gone on to win the Oscar. When you look at 12 nominations for Power of the Dog, how many is actually winning? We don't know. It's going to be kind of a long 6 days and see how this all turns out. But next Sunday is the ceremony, and we could see history made on either side, because also Belfast is still in the running, directed by Kenneth Branagh, that won Best British Film. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, well, it sounds like you do still think that Jane Campion is the front runner for director. If you had to take your pick, who do you think the front runner is for Best Picture?
I mean, right now, I'm on Coda. I think it could do it. Again, it trumps history. But the key will be this weekend, this Saturday, the PGA Awards. It's a preferential ballot, which is what Oscar uses. Whatever wins that, I think is winning the Academy Award.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. You are always right. I'm going to say...
Not always. Sometimes I'm right.
When it comes to awards, you're pretty much always right. And I'm very excited because we have one more week, one more episode of The Take until the Oscars. It is your Super Bowl. I know.
There.
I can't wait. And we will see you guys, as always, right here on Fridays on The Take.
Thanks for watching.